What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Aging Potheads. I'm your boy, Big Brother Boss, and welcome to the show. Go ahead and share this out with your friends. Go ahead and let folks know that we are here and we are ready to smoke. How's everyone doing this evening? Go ahead and leave in the chat what you're smoking tonight and where you watching me, where are you watching us from tonight? And we're going to go ahead and get started. We have a few things we need to talk about today. And but first, let's blaze. Man. Almost choked to death there. But most definitely, y'all, let me know what you're smoking. Now, tonight I am smoking on Secret Gushers. It is a hybrid balanced 50-50. I picked it up over at Green Dispensary over on Rainbow, uh, in a pre-roll. It was actually pretty good. Um, it had its notes. It was pretty good. It smoked okay. Let's just say it smoked okay, folks. Um, had better. The high was pretty good. It lasted pretty long. But it definitely could have been better. I did fuck around and give it 4 blunts. It's an easy, good smoke. Something just to have around if you just looking for something to smoke one day. That's what it is. Secret Gushers, I believe they have it as a sativa there, but it actually, to me, it leans about 50-50. Let me know what you're smoking. If you smoke this strain, let me know what you think about it, because most definitely I want to know what you think about it. Now, the strain of the week, y'all. The strain of the week this week is Apple Tarts. That also is it's a hybrid 50-50. They say it's a hybrid, but to me, it does lean a little on the indica side. It is a good smoke for most folks, beginner or otherwise. It's an excellent smoke, actually. Um, I've smoked it just once. You can find it at many dispensaries. It's Apple Tarts. It's a good strain. So definitely go ahead and check out that. Um, Go ahead and check that out. Check out Apple Tart. See, I'm getting high already off the off the Secret Gushers. So tonight, y'all, there's it's probably looks like it's just gonna be me. Miss Candy is out sick tonight, and Tony had a previous engagement. So guess what? Y'all got me. And one thing I did want to talk about tonight is I'm 50 years old, y'all. 50 years old, and dating is not something I do a lot. Like, you know what? I take that back. I haven't been on a date in a while, but when I do know how to go out on a date. Now, recently, there's been a whole lot of things about where you take your date, how you how you act on a first date. What are your expectations on a first date? You know what I mean? What are your expectations? What are some things that you expect on a first date? I mean, go ahead, put in the comments. And I don't take many expectations in a date other than trying to get to know this person better. I'm not here to try to um, get too deep in this person's life. Just a baseline. We got to figure out who we're dealing with. And yeah, it might not be where we know this person's whole life story, but we'll get a good baseline on what this person is like and if we want to pursue a relationship with this person. Now, this doesn't have to be done, in my opinion, over an expensive dinner. It can be things like drinks somewhere. It can be coffee. It can be anything that you want it to be, folks. Now, we all know a couple of weeks ago, we had a young lady who had um, went to the Cheesecake Factory, and she felt a way about um, being at the Cheesecake Factory, and she refused to get out of the car of her date. He had went to pick her up, and that's what occurred. Now, folks, if you want to look at the video, you can run over to YouTube, and the video's there. You can see it in 4K. The young lady was saying that she deserved better than Cheesecake Factory, which was a chain. Me personally, nothing wrong with Cheesecake Factory. I've only been there a few times. I really just don't like. I really don't. It's not one of my things. I do like the cheesecakes. Don't get me wrong. I love the cheesecakes, but the but the what am I trying to say? See, I'm getting high already. But it's not somewhere I go to. But it is a nice restaurant. It would be a place I would consider taking someone on a first date. If I chose to go there. Now, this woman apparently was trying to embarrass this man online by probably talk about how cheap he is or the fact that he has no class or this type of thing at all. She felt very, I wouldn't say entitled, but she felt very indignant about being taken to the Cheesecake Factory. Now, there were some people who agreed with her, but there was a lot who didn't agree with her. And then we found out the real story. And part of that story is that this young lady, it was their first date. The young man who was courting her, as she liked to say, now, I mean, courting it's an old term, but it's still the same thing. The young man who was courting her had already made reservations at a better restaurant. And when he arrived to pick her up, she was not ready. And she wasn't 5 minutes. She wasn't running 5 minutes behind, 10 minutes behind, 15 minutes behind. She was late an entire hour. He waited an hour for this young lady to get ready and come out on this date. Now, and I'm going to get back to that part. They had missed their reservation. And so in an attempt to still spend more time, because he liked this woman, he wanted to get to know her better, he decided to take her to the Cheesecake Factory for the save. And this is what happened. She put him online, tried to embarrass him for taking her to the Cheesecake Factory. And this young man was like, let's talk about it. They discussed it. He was very, very polite with this woman. He was very polite, more polite than I would have been. And I would like to think I'm a nice guy. Some folks say I'm a nice guy. I try not to say it too boastfully because I might be a nice guy, but it might not be nice for her or them. You know what I mean? So I like to sort of keep it right there. Now, let me know what you think about that, y'all. Would you, what are your expectations on a first date? Would you like going somewhere like Cheesecake? Cheesecake Factory. I'm sorry. I love cheesecake. I would eat cheesecake. I like Cheesecake Factory's cheesecakes. I don't like the Cheesecake Factory food all too much. It's not my thing. Not saying don't go to Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory is definitely a place you would want to go to if you wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory. But this young lady chose not to do that. So it started leading to the question and discussion: where is a good spot for a first date? And in my opinion, and like I say, this is my opinion. Where the fuck you want? If you talk to somebody and they say, hey, if they're into hiking and you're into hiking, go hiking on your first date because it's a spot where you can sit there and you can talk. If you like to eat, go out and eat at your favorite spot. If you love ice cream, ice cream shop came up a lot and coffee came up a lot. If you like coffee, why not go to a coffee shop? You know what I mean? We have a few coffee shops here in Las Vegas that are actually awesome shops to be at. They're they're very good. There's even one with a flight where you can get different types of coffee on a little flight, on a little, three little coffees. Everybody knows what a flight is, or everyone should know what a flight is. If not, it's like a sampling of different things, normally drinks, and it's normally put out on like this wooden plank, just it's almost like a sampler, pretty much is what it is. Normally, when you go to a bar, they give you a sampling of some of their favorite and popular drinks, so they call that a flight. Anyway, a first date can be wherever you want it to be, folks. Wherever you want that date to be, that's what you're gonna be, and you should not have to turn to social media figure out what's a good first date, because you got to do what works for you. If you've been talking to this person, say back and forth a couple of times, yeah, you probably have a good idea of where you might want to go on your first date. You just might. Now, the only thing you should really be doing online is researching places for yourself. You know what I mean? Don't sit up there and say where's it. You can look up where to go, but don't turn to social media, because social media has a lot of shit on there that just sometimes isn't the right thing to be wanting to look at, folks. So when you definitely first date to me, going to a bar, sitting and having some drinks, but make it if you just don't want it to be just your regular run-of-the-mill bar, go someplace special. Go someplace with a theme. We have a few places here in Las Vegas where we have a bar that's a Nightmare Before Christmas theme. There's bars with tiki themes. There's bars that have lounges for stage acts. Pick something out. Go there. You know what I mean? If they have food, that's all the better. But make sure it's a drinking. Let me tell you something. By the time you go on the first date, you should have a gauge of this person. You should have expectations, and don't be afraid to let your expectations be known. If you are a high maintenance person, man or woman, and male, woman, or indifferent, you could lay down your expectations. You could say, hey, I don't like going to McDonald's. Some people won't. Mostly everybody knows not to go to a fast food joint. But some fast food joints are where some people like. Like, say, for example, I once dated a young lady who loved burgers. So I took her to Five Guys. It was our first date. It was chill. We had fun. Wasn't a big deal. I took her to Five Guys. She loves burgers. She said she loves Five Guys. Hey, that's a place we'll go to. I try to be as special as possible, but not to like a very special place. I will go to a place like the Five Guys, but then I'll try to pick a better burger place the next time. I might not even go for burgers because I might want to show her the diversity of the palate on my tongue, y'all. I mean, goddamn, I love burgers, but I can't take a girl on a date for burgers all the time. But anyway, y'all. First date should be what you're both comfortable with. You shouldn't have to go to where, society or what people online say should be a good first date. And I'm going to pull up a list in a second here, y'all. We're going to go over some of these dates. But my expectation on the first date, because I'm rounding back to this young lady not even being on time and ready at the time of the date. Um, she should have been ready, folks. She should have been ready. She should have um, had the wherewithal to be ready. If anything, I think I personally would have allowed 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'd have been asking, hey, we had a reservation for this time. We're not going to make it. Would you like to reschedule? Because at that point, I really wouldn't want to go because people's time is valuable and you shouldn't be wasting people's time, regardless of how you might feel you should be treated. If they said let's meet at 5, your ass should be ready at 5, ready to go. And if you knew you weren't going to be ready at 5, then your ass should have called and communicated to that. That way, at that point, he possibly could have pushed that reservation out a little further in order for y'all to get there. But this young man waited an hour. Hey, more power to you, bro. More power to you, because I wouldn't have done that. Wouldn't be me. It wouldn't. If I might do that one day. Tell you the truth, in my younger days, I have done that. Don't get me wrong, I have. Let me take another toke. In my day, I have done that, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, when we're on a date in these times, we got time, we got a lot going on. So sometimes we can't, we can't, we should make time to date. Don't get me wrong. You should make time to date. If you plan on dating to find your mate, then yes, you should carve out the time to do so. But even still, like I said, that time is that time. And it's very disrespectful to disrespect someone's time. It's a disrespectful thing to me. I say we're going to meet at 7:30. I'm there at 7:15, and I'm ready to go. I'm there. About planning the date. Some say, they say the man should, but if to me, if the woman is more suited to plan it out, say like there's this favorite place she likes to go to and she wants to make the reservations, then most definitely let her go ahead and make the reservations and the plans for you to meet up and things like that. When you do get there, might want to discuss paying. How are you going to pay for it? Are you going to pay for it, or are they going to pay for it? You know what I mean? If we want to get past the gender roles and things like that, or if we want to go Dutch, there is still nothing wrong with going Dutch, and there's still nothing wrong with stating such before your date. Now I'm gonna go up here, y'all, and I pull this list up, and I'm gonna show you what this list looks like. To what we got going on here. Let me pull it up here. There we go, right here. Now this is the list, y'all. And Cheesecake Factory, I think, is on top of it just to be funny. I would like to think that it was there just to be funny. But most definitely, when you look at this list, y'all, look at this list. You have Cheesecake Factory on top of the list, and this was put out supposedly by a list of women who absolutely refused to go on a first date. And thank you to the ladies who reached out to help me in making this list. I think the list is fake, but let's go through some of the things on this list. Like I said, Cheesecake Factory is number one on the list, followed by Applebee's, Chili, Chipotle, and Olive Garden. Definitely places I've been to. However, personally, Cheesecake Factory and Olive Garden is probably the two I would, out of those I just listed, probably I would feel I would go on a first date. Some of the other things here is the movie, your house, um, family function, movie night. Those are things that I think are too personal. I mean, you're inviting somebody into your space or vice versa. Thus, that might be a little too intimate to me for the first date. Pick somewhere else. Any fast food chain, most definitely nothing. You get down to your thing, you get down to your regular spots like Red Lobster, a buffet, any type of buffet, IHOP, Denny's, those type things. I live in Las Vegas. We have some very good buffets here. Unless it was a very excellent buffet, not somewhere I would want to go on a first date. However, I would go to an all-you-can-eat place like an all-you-can-eat sushi joint, all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue because I love Korean barbecue, and that's also showing them the type of person I am, as well as the type of food I might like or I like to eat on a regular basis. One of them being Korean barbecue, and in some cases, hell, I like fucking ramen too, not your cheap 25-cent store-bought ramen. But the nice stuff that what some folks will refer to as bougie ramen. Now, some other things on this list that got me: the gym, church, um, not some place I would want to go to. Now, as you see this list, what are some things on this list that you would go to? Because this list is things of places that a woman would not want to go on a first date. And ladies, I want you to also chime in. Fellas, the same thing. I would not. Some of these I agree with. Others I do not agree with. Bowling, definitely. If you both are into bowling or you want to do something that's casual and you can still get a chance to sit down and talk, bowling is almost perfect because most bowling alleys do have a little snack bar where you can get a snack. Most of them have a full bar, so you can sit and have a drink, either while you're bowling or after you bowl. You know what I mean? Now, also, my girl and I was discussing the movie. Um, I disagree on going on a movie to the first date unless, and this is unless, okay, unless one, you're movie buffs. You like going to see movies, you can go see the newest movies out, or you might find a theater that's showing an older movie that you both might want to see. Now, when taking someone to the movies, y'all, you want to carve out at least 2 more hours um, outside of the movie. And the reason I say that is because now when you go to a movie, you're sitting in the dark with that person for about 2 hours for a 2 hour movie. And you're not talking to each other, getting to know each other. You're watching the movie. You really shouldn't talk during a movie like that, or at least in a way to where you want to get to know the person. So I believe before and after you should plan an activity afterwards, whether it's drinks before and a meal afterwards, or a meal before and drink afterwards. You definitely want to carve out time during that date, especially if it's a movie date, to sit down and just go back and forth with that person, talk with them. And when I say that, that might be in places even it says the movies on this list, but something like bowling is a good place. You know what I mean? Same with sporting events. You want to be in a place where you have the time to actually dedicate that one-on-one time. When you go to places like a sporting event or one of the things on a nightclub, hookah lounge, you can't really sit and know that person because there's a lot going on. Even if you're trying to concentrate on that person. But this list is crazy, y'all. It's definitely a list I didn't. It's definitely a list that some of the things I agree with, other things I do not agree with. And so let us know in the comments how you feel about your expectations on a first date, as well as how you feel about this Cheesecake Factory issue. Now, in terms of going places, there was also another story about a young woman who runs up a tab on a drink date and the man dashes. I want to say this happened in Atlanta. I'm not too sure. Um, However, the young man, I guess he was going on a drink date, and they were just going to have drinks. They went to this one spot. It was an oyster bar, and they had a special for oysters. They had a dozen for a certain amount of money. This woman had 4 servings of this along with her drinks, and I believe she had an appetizer too. And the young man dashed on the bill. There's a little wrong on both sides here. When you see the video almost looks like it's a skit, based on, sort of based on the Cheesecake Factory issue just to get likes and things like that. But let's talk about it still. Um, this young lady ran up the tab, and the man left, and he was upset. And he said he just wanted to go out for drinks, not order the whole menu. And the text says he did offer to pay for her drink, reimburse her for the drinks, but not the 4 dozen oysters she had. I don't know how somebody eats that many oysters, but shit, she loved the things. The videos was going on. She was slurping and shit. The shit was funny as hell. However, like I said before, when it comes to talking about things pre-hand, if she wanted to do more than just have drinks, then that should have been communicated. And he should have communicated that it was just drinks. It's okay to say, hey, this is where I'm at, so we can go out here. Because like I say, when I say you got to carve out time, you also got to carve out a budget. And I do realize there is a segment of men out there. We're not talking about the passport bros or things like that. There is a segment of men out there who feel that they're shelling out a whole lot of money, and sometimes the women aren't really interested, or they really just want a free meal. So they'd rather just go somewhere where they don't spend a lot of money. And I can somewhat agree with that. You have to act your wage. You have to know where you want to go with your whole. You got to know where you want to go. You know what I mean? You got to say, okay, this is my budget. I tried not to get too extravagant on the first date because a lot of folks expect that every time. They expect it to get better. And I know it seems kind of funny, but yeah, you got to kind of start low. Why wouldn't you start low? You got to kind of start low and then get better. And then you got your very special occasion places, which once again is pretty much based on your opinion, because like I said, a good place to you might be low for somebody else, as in what we've seen in the Cheesecake Factory issue. Now, this bar issue is also a communication issue. Because sometimes it sounded like she was trying to run his pockets. When I mean run his pockets, I mean see how much money he was going to spend on her. But there are those type of women out there and men who expect to be splurged on. And I can say from my experience has taught me that these women are very, very, very communicative about their extravagance. They'll let you know, hey, this is where I'm going. They'll let you know that from day one. They're not going to give you one thing and then turn it to another. These women that you quote unquote call gold diggers or sugar babies, these women will let you know up front what the expectations are. So just to let you know. And then, like I said, there are a segment of men who believe that they shouldn't be spending as much money on the first date. And I kind of agree with him. But like I did say, make sure when you carve out the time to be dating for a mate and the budget, make sure you have both of those in alignment for yourself. so you know where to take people. And I know this seems kind of funny, but plan out the dates. So okay, this is what I can afford on the first date. Even though I can probably afford more, I'm going to try to go to this place, then this place, and then this place. Sort of just go up the escalator. I mean, go up the elevator or the extravagance. I'm using the word extravagance too much, so that means I'm really getting high because I'm using the words I use it for instead of grabbing another word out my fucking vocabulary. But most definitely, y'all, date your budget and make sure you carve out the time for your first date. And that list I showed you earlier, if that's one of the places you want to go to, then damn it, go. Why the fuck not? If y'all both with it, then I want that for y'all. Most definitely. If that's what y'all want, that's what y'all want. Let me know in the comments what you think about both these cases. In this case of the woman at the oyster bar, I don't agree with old boy running off and sticking her with the bill. That's not cool. Sure, definitely won't be a second date. But most definitely, y'all, communicate if this person is about to get out your budget. You say, hey, I only budgeted this much. And it's okay. We are living in times where it is okay to be very transparent about what you are. Because you're not saying you broke. You're just saying, this is what I allot for this. This is my budget. This is why I said, let's go here. This is why I said, let's go here. The drinks are cool, this, and that. But when you get there and she eats 4 dozen oysters, and you start to get a little whatchamacallit because it's getting up there because this includes the drinks too. She y'all had drinks too, which you said you were going to pay for. Now all of a sudden you got all these fucking oysters and appetizers and drinks. It could get a little overwhelming for you. So date your wage. So if you know that you have a certain amount of money in your pocket for it that's budgeted for a date, then go on that fucking date and stay in that budget and make sure it's a spot you can both go to. And if it is just coffee because you both like coffee, then be with it. Don't let nobody on Facebook or social media say that that's not a good place for a first date. I'm only giving my opinions on these things, y'all. Hey, let me know in the comments how you feel about these things. So, with that, y'all, we're moving on. And Halloween is coming, y'all. Halloween is coming. Halloween is next Tuesday, which makes this weekend what we call Halloween weekend. Now, here in Las Vegas, folks, y'all think New Year's is cool, but to me, one of the greatest times of year here in Vegas, to my opinion, is motherfucking Halloween. Halloween is the one night a year that Halloween, when you're an adult, Halloween takes on a whole different meaning. When we're kids, we got costumes. We dress up like our favorite heroes, our favorite person, or favorite pop culture icon. We do that as adults too, except we add a little more to it, y'all. Halloween is a perfect excuse to rock out with your cock out. You know what I mean? That type of thing. Where you dress a certain way, you can do certain things. And it is one of the sexiest weekends here in Las Vegas, other than New Year's. I don't like New Year's here much. It's a lot of people, a lot of traffic, a whole lot of drunk people. So most locals here tend to just go to private parties during New Year's Eve and leave the partying on the strip to the tourists. That's where they're going to leave them. They're going to leave them to the tourists. So with Halloween coming, what do you like to do on Halloween? I personally, it's probably the one night a year I will go out to a club and I'll get dressed up. I'll go out to a club and have fun. I love watching the costumes, but let's be real. Some of us like watching the women, and me as a man, I like to watch the women in their sexy outfits. Ladies, if you didn't get a chance to use that piece of lingerie on Thanksgiving, on On Valentine's Day, this is the best time to wear that big piece of lingerie is at a sexy Halloween party. Here in Las Vegas, almost every club will have some sort of Halloween themed night at the club, and they're going to encourage you to wear costumes. That's what I like to do. I no longer have kids, so I do not take the kids out trick or treating. I also stopped giving candy away, and it's not because I'm an asshole. It's because when you when we do it, normally no one comes to the door. Very few kids come to the door, so we just stopped doing it. This year, I don't know. I haven't talked to my girl about it. She just might run up to Costco and grab some candy. We do live in a different spot now, so maybe the kids up here like to go. Plus, I live in a nice area of Las Vegas, so shit. The kids here, they might run out to the neighborhood because it's a very middle class, upper middle class to affluent neighborhood up around here. So a lot of folks probably will be out, and they probably got the good candy. And if those who know us Gen Xers, we know we're talking about like whole bars, not the little miniature candies. You know, you get better candy the better area you trick or treat in. If you didn't know that, that's a life hack, y'all. Don't these millennials and these Gen Zers will try to steal shit. Y'all ain't doing nothing but Christopher Columbus and old pop culture shit that we like. So most definitely, y'all. Let me know in the comments what you feel. Let us know in the comments how you feel about Halloween. How do you prepare for Halloween? Do you take your kids out? Do you go to a trunk or treat? And trunk or treats are safer. They say are safer because the kids are just going from car to car. A lot of organizations have trunk or treats as a safety thing for children, so they're not really out in the streets. So whatever you do, y'all be safe. And here in Vegas, it's getting cold. It's getting cooler now, so make sure you bundle up a little bit for the weather, folks. The weather here, just like we have extreme heat, we can get real cold here in Las Vegas, especially after having 100-degree summers. A 70-degree night might be cold here in Vegas to some. Like I said, after 100-degree weather all summer. So let me know in the comments how you feel about Halloween and what you plan on doing this Halloween. And we're going to go ahead and get to the spoiler alert, y'all. Spoiler alert, basically, I only say that because, hey, we're in the show, we're getting high, and we want to make sure that when we talk, hey, something might happen, you might get more than you expected. So right now, y'all, this is a spoiler alert. I have watched a couple of episodes of The House of Villains, which is on the E Entertainment channel. Check your listings to see which channel that is. It does come a new episode every Thursday. We're about 2 episodes in. And just to get the premise, the House of Villains is made up of reality TV villains or bad folks or folks who we love to hate. Some of the celebrities include Bobby Lights from the Love and Hip Hop franchise, as well as Omarosa. If y'all remember Omarosa, she was a contestant on Donald Trump's reality show, The Apprentice. Omarosa is a classic, one of the classic reality TV villains. I like Omarosa just simply because of that. She's coming to play the game. They're actually in a house where they compete with games to be voted out of the house. It's your classic reality TV elimination show where it's based on your popularity with the crew involved. I did watch a couple of episodes of this, y'all. I really did I give it 4.5? I don't know why I would have gave it 4.5. Not my thing. I don't know why I would have gave it 4.5. Where is it? I actually gave it 3.5, y'all. I gave it 3.5 blunts. I don't know why 4 is up. 4 was what I loaded, but I gave it 4 blunt. I gave it 3.5 blunts. It was just okay. It was entertaining, but it wasn't as entertaining as it should have been, in my opinion. I've watched 2 episodes. They are still working on the first elimination of the. They're working on the first elimination, and to me, that's just too long. If we're in the third episode and you still haven't eliminated someone, means that it's not a lot of action in there, and they're just trying to stretch it out. But House of Villains is on the Entertainment Channel. If you do like reality TV, it is pretty entertaining. What is off-putting to me, like I said, I gave it 3 blunts out of 5. What is a little off-putting is, like I said, we're coming up on the third episode, and now we're finally about to eliminate one of the cast members, which is kind of long to me. You spent 2 episodes. You spent the episode getting to know each other. Then you spent the next episode showing people kind of, try to make their alliances and things. And we still had not one elimination yet. So in my opinion, I mean, they're stretching it out. This will probably be something that'll probably peak around the holidays before TV really goes on their holiday break between December and like February. But if you're into reality TV, you folks, go ahead and check that out. Let me know in the comments what you've watched so we can get ideas on what to watch so we can bring you our opinion on things. So let us know what you are watching. Go ahead and leave a comment. Now with the munchies, y'all, what is your favorite go-to munchie? Now, my favorite go-to munchie normally is some chips and then something sweet and cakey like a Hostess pie or a Zinger, whatever it works on. When I get high, that's what I fucking go for, y'all. Now, what I tried this week, and I've had it in the past, but it begs to what I get. It is I did have the Caesar chicken Caesar salad at Costco. And the chicken Caesar salad at Costco wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Once again, this thing is off. I do think I gave it three blunts as opposed to 3.5 blunts. But I gave it 3 blunts. The chicken salad from Caesar's had too much lettuce. It doesn't look like somebody cared to put the lettuce in there. They just cut the lettuce, put in there. This one, the one I had a core in it. Had the bottom part of the lettuce in there. Some of the lettuce was wilted. It looks like when they did the lettuce, it just was not quality assurance check, y'all. It wasn't QA checked. The other stuff, it did seem pretty fresh, in my opinion. Not enough chicken, not enough dressing. I like a lot of dressing on my Caesar salad. Not a lot of dressing on this. It is pretty much everything is pre-made. I'm sure they use the chicken from the rotisserie chickens they normally have in the back, as well as some other things they might carry in the store. Salad is about $6. But I did give it 3 blunts. I was not impressed. I believe it needs more sauce and the ability to have more sauce because they don't have sauce on the side. Everything sort of comes like prepackaged. It's already set there in the thing. They really don't have an extra. At least this Costco didn't. But this could have probably been better if it had a little bit more dressing on it. I gave it 3 blunts. It's at you can get this at any Costco. Don't sleep on the Costco. Don't sleep on the Costco snack bar, y'all. The Costco food court is still one of the best places to go. They still have a hot dog and a drink for $1.50. They do have a few other things. This last time I did go, I did notice they had a roast beef sandwich on the menu. And I might try that next time. But it's $10, so I don't know. It is Costco, and they do have some above average tasting food in their food court. But I don't know if I want to spend $10 on a sandwich when a pizza, I get a whole pizza for $10. So definitely, y'all, I'm going to think about that and let y'all know what I think about it. Let us know what your favorite go-to munchie is, y'all. And let us know in the comments. and let us know what's your special munchie. Like this munchie, like I said, we do food reviews on that. That's a chicken Caesar from Costco. I've had better, had worse. But definitely, like I said, if you guys can go for it, go for it. Doesn't come with salt and pepper either, so you can't really season it. I sort of like fresh cracked pepper on my salad as well as a little bit of salt just to enhance the flavor. So most definitely, y'all let me know what your favorite go-to munchie is in the comments. And hey, if I see it, hey, I might go check it out. I might go get it. But most definitely, y'all, we're getting to that part of the show where if you are in a crisis, if you need help, whether you're thinking about harming yourself or others, or you're just going through a crisis and you need help, pick up your phone, text 988, call 988. Here in Las Vegas, you can also call 211. And these folks have resources for you to help you in whatever you're going through. We'd rather talk with you than about you. Folks, if you need to, go out and get the help that you need. If you are involved in an abusive relationship and need help, make sure you call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233, and that's 800-799-7233 for the National Domestic Violence Hotline, and that includes any gender. If you are a person who is in an abusive relationship or a child in an abusive relationship, make sure you contact these folks. Get the help that you need. And I do want to thank everybody for watching with us. Show's running a little short today because it's just me. Hope I didn't bore you too much. I did talk about some good stuff. We talked about expectations on the first date. We talked about Halloween. And we talked about a couple other things. Check out House of Villains on E! Entertainment Network. As well as, like I said, if you enjoy the Costco food court, let me know. Let me know what you've had there. Tell me what your go-to favorite at the Costco food court is. Mine normally is I go basic. I go with the hot dog. I do go with the hot dog. And the hot dog special, hot dog and a drink, $1.50, can't beat it. Except I no longer order 2 or 3 of them. I just order one. Just can't handle 3 anymore. That'll give me excessive heartburn. But most definitely, I do want to thank you for joining us and smoking with us. We are the Aging Potheads. We are on here every Wednesday about 7-ish p.m. Pacific on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure you join us on one of those 3 or all 3 of them. Folks on the replay, thank you for watching. Also, I do want to thank you for watching and smoking with us. And like I always say at the end of the show, meditate and medicate. And until next time, my friends, stay lifted. Good night.